TikTok and YouTube. As the title says, you can see, you can't really see the lower level. You can kind of see the upper level. Those on TikTok, you can see the lower level. I got some stuff down here. I got some stuff up here. I got to get picked up because I've talked about it. And after a little bit of shipping delays, it finally showed up, my FlexTrack. I'm excited because this should be all the FlexTrack I need for the yard. And hopefully I'll have a little bit of extra. Because I've got some other places that I've got to take out some turnouts and stuff. We've talked about that. And yeah. And basically replace some turnouts with some straight track or FlexTrack, regular track, whatever. And yeah, so I am right now, you probably see dual mics on me. Like I said, because we are not only, let me move the one. This is just going to be a real, just chilled out thing right now tonight. I'm getting so close to getting things done. And being able to actually operate from my lower yard, Egremont yard, up to my tall yard. So I'm pretty excited about that. And after doing work on this side of the layout, I have tools over here that I got to get picked up and put away before I start laying track on the new section. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Just getting set up for that. I will try to pay attention to what do you call it? Comments. No guarantees though. I'm gonna get them all. Oh, if you look behind me back here, I would say most of my backdrop's done. The upper level, I got in this corner back here, I got to get something figured out to support the backdrop. And then the lower level down here, I've got to get basically the same thing to block the view of the incline. But I'm getting there, just takes time. All it does is take time. So now that I've actually am getting some momentum with getting the track in and getting the backdrop done and stuff like that, it's really pushing me to get stuff done. So it's really exciting to be able to get this far and be able to actually, as far as the track work goes, start seeing what's up, KCS Baxter Springs on YouTube. But yeah, it's getting pretty exciting to be getting to the point of some people aren't into operations. I get that. It's not for everybody. But my last railroad, about 15 years ago, we did operations. It was obvious. It was a way bigger railroad than what this one is. But I get back into it. I knew I wanted to do some operations, but I didn't know to what extent. And I always preach research. And through time, I just put that away. Through time, I've really gotten into, I guess when I was designing the railroad, I really got into looking into the operations and really for a lot of the second part of it, more, I wish I would have done it a little more in depth at the beginning, but designing for operations. Prime example, those of you on TikTok, you can see where I'm standing right here. This used to be a bump out about 4 inches or so longer. And I decided one day it's not needed. I only needed, well, I don't know, probably an inch or two coming off that for my track to come around. And unfortunately, I put it out there because I was like, oh, you know, I can put some scenery on it, this and that. And when it boiled down to it, I was like, it was sticking out into the aisleway here and making it a little tighter. Yeah, it's still sticking out a little bit, but not as bad. I'm still able to have my landform, in a sense, by it. And I'm happy I did that. I'm happy I chose to do that. And so, but yeah, right now I'm just trying to pick up a little bit, working on getting it set up so I can get the rest of my track laid, plus other projects that I've got going on that, unfortunately, I have a bad habit of starting too many projects. I'm sure a lot of model railroaders out there that are watching this can agree. You know, we like to, and if you're watching this and you're not a model railroader, or you're thinking about getting into it, I'll tell you right now, it gets real easy in this hobby to start more projects. You know, start a project while you're, okay, you started a project, I guess the best way to put it, and you're waiting for glue to dry, paint to dry, whatever, and, well, I'll start this, and then you just keep on and on and on. Before you know it, you have a ton of projects, and you start scratching your head like, what do I do next? So that's kind of where I'm at. I was waiting, those that have been following the podcast and following me, I would be a lot farther along had I not had back issues and had to have back surgery back in June. But it is what it is. Life throws at you. We adapt and overcome. And I finally got my bench work done, and then it was a matter of getting the track in and all that good stuff. So that's where I'm at, and I'm looking forward to getting my upper level track laid. It's been a long process. I mean, I'm coming up on, well, let's see here, February or March of this next year will be 2 years since I started this layout. And you know, I mean, it's not like it's a race or anything like that, but it is definitely, for me, from where I have been on previous layouts to where I'm at now, it's fairly quick. But I'm also tired of, I guess, having my layout under construction as far as track goes. Hey, Hot Rod Rodney, how's it going? On YouTube. But yeah, so it's been one of them long projects. So yeah, it's been working on the upper level a little bit here and there. Got all my road bed down. I did see I slightly messed up with the road bed as far as laying some of it down. I either didn't mark it right, or where the track goes, or my turnouts are off or something. All right, whatever, it happens. I'm not too worried about it. It'll be easy to fix. But so yeah, that's where I'm at now, trying to get some of this stuff picked up and set up so I don't know that I'm gonna get track laid tonight or start laying it tonight, but if I can at least have it set up and ready to go for tomorrow, at minimum. That'll be good. And then once I do that, so I'm thinking about going. I know I've talked on the podcast about keep bouncing. Let's read some comments here. Hot Rod Rodney, I'm a model rater. My pic shows my dirt track car. Oh, that's cool. Just finished up more ballast and scenery items. Nice, Benjamin. Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I was actually, well, for those on YouTube that can see this, I was actually back here where my grade crossing is. I was going to start doing that, Benjamin, but my track decided to show up with this, and I'm still not sure what I want to do, but I think I'm going to get some ground foam down. But getting back to the operations, though, I haven't decided if I was going to do JMRI or if I was going to do car card and waybill. Well, I've been preparing car cards and waybills since the get-go because I didn't want to get behind, 130, 140 cars. That's a lot of waybills to have to do. So fortunately, I do them on the computer, and I've got a spreadsheet that I can just go in and plug in the info, and then I just print them off. But I haven't done really any waybills, which those are going to change the ones that I have done, because my industries are kind of changing a little bit as time goes on. But so anyways, since I got in 3D printing, I started, that one's not really the best one. I didn't clean it the best, but I started printing my own car card boxes. I got the resin, I got the printer, I might as well do it. Actually, they only cost me in resin, I mean, not putting time into it, but they only cost me about $1.50 a piece to print. So actually got one mounted, but it's there again, that's part of the process. And I started working on that. And then I found, like I said, I found this micro engineering track, Flex Track, and I'm like, ordered it. So I've been kind of focusing on getting prepared for that to show up, and it finally showed up today. And I was down here earlier recording on our audio podcast, an episode 82, I believe it is. And I got done recording it, got up, started walking out, and I'm like, I need to pick that up before I do any work. So majority of it was down here, but I still had stuff up top here. And yeah, so yeah, if you're watching this, these are going to be a little bit shorter lives right now. I am planning on doing a live throughout the process. I am going to be laying some track tomorrow. I don't know what time, but I will be laying some track, which will be interesting for me anyways, because I've got several fast tracks turnouts that I put in that I'm looking forward to getting them up and going with good microengineering track, which I originally wanted to do my entire layout with microengineering, but it's way more expensive than the Atlas, and I didn't want to budget for all that. So my plan is, as time goes on, I'll keep, like, let's say I use up all this microengineering right away, I'll order some more, another 6-pack or a couple 6-packs of it from, as of right now, I'll get them from Micromarks. That's where I got them from, and they had a good deal on them. And I'll keep them, and then anytime I got to replace track, I'm just going to start replacing it with a good microengineering track. That way, yeah, you're paying double, but it's kind of one of the things where not really, because if you have to replace track, I might as well replace it with the better stuff, or the stuff that I want, and because I'd have to replace it one way or another anyways, right? So, yes, it's not less expensive really, or it's not more expensive really, because let's say this section of track, something happens, something gets dropped, whatever, I have to replace it. Yeah, it's going to cost me a little more per piece, $1.50 or so more for the microengineering, but in the end, it's going to give me what I want as far as the track. It may only be that one section, but section by section, time and time, eventually it's going to get to the better track, and without all the upfront cost. But don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and just start ripping out track that's perfectly fine to lay down the micro engineering. So I will be using it. I do have another spot that I have to pull out 2 turnouts that are in a crossover formation. I'm getting rid of those. I already did one on the other side, or another crossover on my main line that I've got the in-between crossover track out. I just got to find time to lift the turnouts, and I'll put in track. If I have, well, I don't know how, you can't really see it, but I have a whole bunch of, and there's more there too, short pieces of Atlas Flex that are, if I can make those work in certain spots, I will, so I'm not cutting up my micro engineering track just for a little short piece. But yeah, I'm really excited about getting this track in, because I'm pretty sure, actually now I'm kind of doing a little bit of work here now, because I'm pretty sure I'll have enough to finish this up, this yard. At least I'm hoping. Otherwise I'm gonna have to order more track. I ended up ordering it through, like I said, I ended up ordering it through Micromark, because my normal place I normally get it, I went to go, well, I was waiting on some track for somebody, and they were having issues getting that in. Well, Benjamin, you're watching this, if you're still watching this, that track, it was like a week after you said you ordered it through somebody else, which is fine. I got an email, because I was waiting for it to come in. I was actually going to order some in just in case you ever needed more. And I got an email from them. Oh, it's in. So, well, I'm like, all right, well, I went to go place my order, and the HO scale Code 83 Flex track that I normally get, they were out of that. So it was, so I'm like, you know what, screw this. I'm done waiting for a track to, show up in stock at these places. So I decided, you know what, I started doing some cert research, and it's expensive to get track shipped to you. Like I said, fortunately, I had Micromark. They had given me a coupon or whatever you want to call it for free shipping, which worked out, because that saved me a whole bunch. I probably wouldn't have ordered this track if it wouldn't have been for the free shipping, to be honest. But now that I've got it, and I know where I can at least get it, because they have it in stock, because actually I'm still waiting for my normal place where I get my track to get it from. And that's not good. Brand new, just got it in and got some dented rail. But I'm going to keep it. I created an account with them, and I'm like, well, I'm going to throw some in my whatever you call it, list or whatever, so that way I get notified if they happen to run out of it. And then if they do run out of it, oops, I know where I'll stand. So, and from the looks of it, I am probably not going to have extra, if I even have enough. And I ordered, that's going to go between those two there. Yeah, I'm not going to have enough. That was 12 pieces. And that's 12 pieces. And I still need, if I would have known that, 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, that's 12 pieces like that. That's used up. And I was so excited that I was going to have enough to finish this, but that's why I kind of wanted to lay it out. So yeah, that kind of sucks. That's model railroading for you. I guess it looks like I'm going to be ordering another 12 pieces from them. That really sucks. But that's part of it. So what I'll plan on doing is, so if you can see what I'm doing, these first sections here, that's my yard. But then I've got back here, there's a 2-track 2 tracks back here that's going to be an industry. One's going to be for loading and unloading, and the other track's going to be when they're done loading and unloading, they'll put their empties on the, well, it'll be an inbound outbound track for that place. And I was going to have a engine fueling servicing up here, but we're probably not going to do that now, because the spur's not long enough and it's just not going to look right for me. So, which is kind of good, because then that'll actually take out one turnout that I got to mess with. Yeah, I like that better. And I'll just have to find some other place or simulate engine servicing. But yeah, I just wanted to jump on, do videos. I know I've been saying on both of them I was going to be doing lives, and as time goes on, I'm planning on doing more lives for both TikTok and YouTube. But you know, it's just a matter of finding the time to do it between building the railroad, working my full-time job, doing the audio podcast, stuff like that. So if you are interested, look up Model Railroad Talk, either on YouTube or TikTok. We do have our audio podcast. I distribute it through Spotify, but we're on all the major ones like iTunes and iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, stuff like that. And if you don't know what Model Railroad Talk is, we try to make it informative, you know, teach you about model railroading, but really the most, and non-judgmental. But really biggest thing I try to put into try to get the listeners to get out of it is being inspired to get something done, you know, and because I know sometimes I need a little pick me up in the hobby to, I get in ruts, we all do. Like I said in the beginning, if you look behind me, you can see I've gotten, and back here, that was a pain. Ogundape grain in the back there was a pain to get the backdrop up. Surprisingly, you'd think it wouldn't be, because it's kind of big and open once you get the building structure out of there, but it still was a pain. And then down over here to my right, which I'll be doing some videos down the road, that was kind of a pain too, and I still have a little bit on the lower level to do, but all in due time. So I'm all picked up, and before I start laying track down, I think I don't know if I'm gonna get to that tonight, but I may or may not go live on one, or either on YouTube or TikTok when I'm laying some track. I don't know yet. I guess it all just kind of depends on what's going on, and I guess what you guys want. And it won't be like a tutorial or nothing, because you guys have plenty of tutorials out there on how to lay track and stuff like that. So I guess with that being said, I want to thank everybody that have tuned in and all that good stuff. Just keep an eye on our YouTube or TikTok. We will continually put out update videos and stuff like that. So thanks for watching, and keep your train on the tracks.